Hello, my name is Michael Putra and I'm here to talk about what you should prepare if you want to become a successful podcaster. For this topic, I've divided it into 4 parts. First is the state of your equipment or voice. Second is the main topics you should be choosing for your podcast. Third is how to get your point across in your podcast. And lastly, what other preparation should you do to help benefit the other parts? So without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, your equipment or voice. The most important part is that those things don't hinder your performance. It doesn't matter if you don't have a high-spec microphone or a soothing voice. As long as your mic or voice is good enough to hear, that is what's important. For example, if you have a generic microphone but it doesn't hinder getting your voice across, then you don't really have to upgrade it. Secondly, for the topics of your podcast. You can pick any topics you want to discuss, but make sure you have full understanding of said topics. People wouldn't really want to hear a discussion about a recent gossip or news while you don't really understand what it is about and only want to hop on discussing it while it is hot. So don't just pick random topics that are hot and booming. Choose topics that you have some understanding and go from there. Thirdly, to get your point across in your podcast, make sure you have your own views and opinions in your statements. Your podcast wouldn't really have anything special to it if you only give out textbook answers. It doesn't really matter if your statements are against the majority. As long as your statements are your own thoughts, you should be focusing on that. Lastly, for any other preparation should you do to help benefit the other parts, it is very important to just be yourself. Think of this as a conversation you usually have with your friends, but don't be too relaxed that you start to wander off topic. In the end, listeners will all want to listen to your podcast because you are in it. So you don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You should also choose people you are comfortable talking to in your podcast, as it helps to keep conversations going when you're with someone you know. Well, those are my opinions on what you should focus on to become a successful podcaster. I hope it helps even a little bit in your endeavor. Thank you and good luck.